Lakers fans?
What up, Lakers fam?
Laker fans.
Let's go, Lakers!
Let's go, let's go, let's go! Go!
We ballin'. But it's purple. Hard as go, baby. We ballin'. Ain't nobody in the world that can stop us.
LA, I got us. Who with me? Let's roll.
Oh, yeah, you already know.
You know what they yell when they see me?
Hurling go, hurling go.
Some Diamonds on my way to the
Slam dunk.
gonna hate her like who?
3, 2, 1.
Yeah. Champions of the spot. Watch how they watch us. Meet me at the top.
LA, baby.
Nah, we ain't gon' stop. LA be like, Laker fans like, LA be like.
We ballin'. Ain't nobody in the world that can stop us. We ballin'. It's all purple and gold, baby. It's all purple and gold.
It's showtime, baby.
Let's go.
What up, Lakers Nation? Welcome back to Lakers Over Everything. Purple and gold till we die. Purple and gold we ride. I bleed purple. My heart beats gold. It is and always will be. Lakers Over Everything. I'm your boy, LOE. And we got some unfortunate news for our Los Angeles Lakers on this football Sunday. So we know the Lakers are coming off their 128-110 victory over the Minnesota Timberwolves to pick up their first win of the season. That happened on Friday night. Well, today on Sunday, they're heading up to Sacramento for their first road game, taking on the Sacramento Kings. And they will be without Luka Doncic. He has been ruled as out. So he was on the injury report on yesterday, listed as questionable with a left finger sprain. I do remember that play. It happened early in the game. I didn't think that it would be that big of an issue because it happened before he scored any of his points. And we know he dropped 49 points along with 11 rebounds on Minnesota. So we know he had a huge game. And that was with that finger sprain. But he has been ruled out on today, not only with the finger sprain, but also with a left knee contusion. So, and it's not just tonight's game. We'll be without Luka for the next week at least. He'll be reevaluated a week from today. So very unfortunate news as the Lakers head up to Sacramento. To look to build some momentum on that win on Friday night, a very big win on Friday night against a very big Minnesota win. That was a statement win, if you will, because that's the same Minnesota team that eliminated the Lakers from the playoffs last year, but also the same Minnesota team that's been to back-to-back Western Conference Finals. Same squad pretty much without the only deletion from that roster is Nicole Alexander-Walker. He's no longer there. He's now in Atlanta. However, still a very good Minnesota team and one that everyone considers to be a contender. The Lakers, a very hard-fought victory in that game against Minnesota. And it wasn't just Luka. Of course, Luka dropped 49 points, but it wasn't just Luka. Austin played very good. DeAndre Ayton and Luka found a connection, and Ayton scored 15 points. Rui Hachimura scored 23 points, so it was a good team victory overall. So you really wanted to look at that game and build some momentum from that game as they push into the next games in this young season. It's very important that the Lakers get off to a good start, a solid start. They can't those first 10 games, they got to win a good 7 of them at least, right? The first 20 games, you need to win a good 14 to 15 of them. I kept saying 15-5 is the record that I felt they needed to get. Well, it's going to be very difficult now without Luka, at least for the next week. They're going to be very shorthanded. We already know they're shorthanded without LeBron James, no LeBron James. So that's already a major obstacle to overcome, an insurmountable obstacle to overcome. Now you have to do without Luka Doncic as well. It's going to be very tough. And not only Luka, but Jackson Hayes is also out. He's going to miss his second straight game. He missed the game on Friday, and it left the Lakers shorthanded because they had to play a lot of Jared Vanderbilt at the 5 because the only center that they had on the roster was DeAndre Ayton, right? And DeAndre Ayton played a great game, but there was no backup, right? So now Jackson Hayes is going to have to play more of the five, and maybe they call up Christian Coloco for this one. He's on that two-way with the Lakers, so maybe they bring him up to provide some depth there at that center spot. I don't know, man, but this is very, very unfortunate. I really thought that Luka would be able to go. I don't know if it's the leg contusion or if it's the finger. Again, the finger, he scored 49 points on it, so I don't know if it's swelled up a bit, but he also has that left leg contusion. So very, very troublesome news for the Lakers. It's going to be tough to see how they overcome this. Because they have some important games over the week. So again, here's their schedule over this next week. They have 6 games over the next week, starting with a back-to-back on tonight. They're in Sacramento tonight, and then they come back to the Crypt to take on the Portland Trailblazers tomorrow, and then they hit the road for a 2-game road trip. On Wednesday, they play Minneapolis, Minnesota. So they got them again. Obviously, we just had them on Friday. So we play Minnesota again, and then they play Memphis. They're at Memphis next Friday, and that's an NBA Cup game. So, if you're a fan of that, that's big significance there without Luka Doncic. And then next weekend, or next Sunday and Monday, they have another back-to-back here at home against Miami next Sunday, and then next Monday they're in Portland. So that's the Lakers' next 6 games. Again, Sacramento, Portland, Minnesota, Memphis, Miami, and Portland. That's the Lakers' schedule over the next week. How many of those games will they be able to win without Luka Doncic? Again, you're not just without Luka. You're without Luka. You're without LeBron. You're very shorthanded. What does this mean for the starting lineup? We know they've been running out the starting 5 of Luka, AR, Gabe Vincent, Rui, and DeAndre Ayton. Now what do you do? Because now, if you keep that starting lineup, you have your 2 playmakers, your 2 point guards, if you will, in Austin and Gabe. You have them in the starting lineup. You don't have anyone backing them up off the bench. So do you move one of those guys to the bench? What do you do? Do you roll out that same lineup with AR and Gabe, that same backcourt with AR and Gabe, and then who's going to start in place of Luka? Do you start Jake LaRavia? Do you start Marcus Smart? We've been clamoring for Marcus Smart to start, but not in place of Luka, alongside Luka. Now you might have to do it without Luka. Do you start Vando? Same thing. People have been wanting Vando in a starting lineup, but aside Luka, not in spite of Luka. But if you do that, again, you don't have Jackson Hayes tonight. So if you start Jared Vanderbilt, then who's your backup center? You don't have one, right? Unless you bring up Christian Coloco. So I think that eliminates Vando from being the starting lineup. I don't think there's any way you can start him. So my guess would be, or what I would like to see, is go ahead and move Gabe to the bench and start Smart. That way you'll have Gabe coming off the bench as your backup point guard. Because if you start Gabe and AR, then your backup point guard is going to have to be Bronny. He's the only other point guard you have on the roster. You're going to have to play him minutes, right? And he hasn't played at all this year. And now you may ask him to play significant minutes if you keep that same starting lineup, right? I think he's going to have to play minutes regardless, because whether you move Gabe to the bench or not, I still think you need that depth there, and Bronny may be the call there. So I don't know. I would like to see a starting lineup of moving Gabe to the bench, AR, Marcus Smart, DeAndre Ayton at center, Rui, and Jake LaRavia. That's the lineup that I would go with. That way you have Gabe on the bench as your backup point guard, and you have Vando still coming off the bench as your backup center until Jackson Hayes gets back. So again, my starting 5 for the night, or for this period, would be AR, Marcus Smart, DeAndre Ayton at the center, and then Rui and LaRavia on your wing as your wings. That's the lineup I would go with, but we'll see what JJ goes with. Again, it's going to be tough. You're shorthanded, and it's not just for tonight, but it's at least for the next week. So they're going to have to figure it out. This team already doesn't have a lot of depth, and then when you're missing LeBron James, now Luka, it's going to be very, very difficult to overcome that hurdle while you still try to win some games. Again, you have some winnable games coming up, but it's going to be even more difficult without your superstar and Luka Doncic, both of your superstars, and Luka and LeBron now. So very, very tough decisions. We'll see what they do. But nevertheless, Lakers do play basketball later tonight in Sacramento for their first road game of this young season. Let's see if they can pull out a miracle and get one in. Man, this is tough. This is tough. If you can just salvage this and go 3-3 while Luka's out, I'll take that. But even that is going to be difficult, right? Portland, you got Portland in there twice, but Portland's a good team, man. They're a good young team. They're playing motivated this year. They're looking like they're not going to be a tanking team. They have some ballers there, man. Some good young talent there, and they have a lot of depth there also. Those games are going to be tough. You're going to Minnesota. That's going to be a tough one, especially after you just beat them on Friday. They're going to be looking for some get back there. You got the NBA Cup matchup next Friday. Memphis, they don't look good at all, but still, they still have Ja. They still have Triple J. That's going to be a tough one. That's going to be a tough one. And then tonight in Sacramento, they got Sabonis back. They got Debo there. They got Levine. That's going to be a tough one. They got Russ. He's going to play hard. They got Malik Monk. That's going to be a tough matchup there. Tough game tonight. So, again, if they can just salvage this thing and try to go 3-3, I'd welcome that with open arms. But even that's going to be difficult. We'll see. We'll see what JJ decides on the starting lineup. And then we'll see how he plays his rotations. I'm guessing it's going to be heavy minutes for Austin Reeves, man. And he's going to have to carry the load. Who's going to step up? We're going to need Rui to step up. We're going to need some of these other guys to step up with their scoring also. DeAndre Ayton, we're going to need him to score a little bit more. LaRavia, he's going to have to give us something off the bench, or if he's inserted into the starting lineup, everybody's going to have to step up. Nonetheless, Dalton Connect, can he get out of his slump? Do you call up Nick Smith Jr.? We know that he's on a two-way deal. Do you bring him up? And does he get inserted into the rotation? What about Chris Mannion? Do you bring him up? He's another two-way guy that the Lakers have that they may have to call up, right? We talked about Koloko being called up. There's a lot, man. A lot of decisions to make. Nevertheless, there's no rest for the weary. It's going to be tough. So let's see how the Lakers handle it, this adversity early on in the season. And let's see if they can, maintain and go 500 in the midst of this small early storm, right? We'll be back to break it all down, to talk all about it later tonight, what happens in the Sacramento game. So make sure you're locked and loaded here with your boy LOE. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and get all your Lakers news right here, man. I'm your host, LOE, out. Purple and gold till we die. Purple and gold we ride. I bleed purple. My heartbeat's gold. It is and always will be. Lakers over everything. Till the next one. Peace. Enjoy your Sunday. Bye.
Can't sleep, can't eat till you get it right. Oh, all my life I've been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, gotta pay that. Pay the price. Can't be real, but I'm living the life. All my life I've been grinding all my life. Lakers, baby. Yeah. You know what it is. Purple, yellow, purple, yellow, purple, yellow, purple, yellow. Yeah. You know what it is. Purple, yellow, purple, yellow, purple, yellow, purple, yellow. Yeah. You know what it is. Purple, yellow, purple, yellow, purple, yellow, purple, yellow. Yeah. You know what it is. Purple, yellow, purple, yellow, purple, yellow, purple, yellow.
I'm a Laker till I die. Rest in peace, Chick Hearn.
93-70. This game's in the Admiral refrigerator. The door is closed. The lights out. Butter's getting hard. The eggs are cooling, and the Jell-O is jiggling. Been jiggling for a long time.